I'm sure many of you have already heard this news. A motorist who was stopped by environmental activists on a highway pulled out his gun and shot 2 people. I believe the latest reporting is that one of the individuals has died. I want to say right off the bat, a lot of people are sharing this story because they're sick and tired of these activists blocking the road. You see all these videos where people are dragging them off the street. Now, this happened in Panama. The man said, "This ends here," and then shot 2 people. It's bad. It's horrifying, and no one should do this. Nonviolent civil disobedience is a good thing. It's allowed, and I will defend it. Now, it's annoying that these environmental protesters keep doing these things. Totally get it. But if you do not have nonviolent civil disobedience, you get violence. We don't want that. We want people to feel like they can put pressure on a system, but we don't want them crossing the line. Blocking a road, illegal. Yeah, but like, what's the real harm done? People are late. People are angry. The police need to come immediately and arrest them. But a minor disruption, I think, is what we must tolerate if we want to have a free society, and we don't want violence happening all over the place. So there's a lot of people who are quietly cheering this man on because they are sick and tired of what these activists are doing. But I warn you, for one, nobody should, taking someone's life over blocking a road, he could have just shoved them out of the way. No, he killed him. He said, "This is the end." He said, "This ends here." Here's the story. Motorist who shot dead 2 environmental protesters blocking a road is a retired U.S. lawyer, 77, with a conviction for illegal possession of firearms. Gunman declared, "This ends here," before opening fire. They say Kenneth Darlington appeared before a judge in the town of La Espiga on Wednesday afternoon, and after a 2-hour hearing was remanded in custody. According to local media, the Panamanian-born U.S. citizen was seen in both video and pictures shooting dead 2 teachers blocking a road on a highway. He has a previous conviction for illegal possession of a firearm. It is understood he declared, "This ends here," before walking up the road, up to the roadblock on a section of the Pan American Highway in the, how do you pronounce it? Chame District? Chame District? I don't know. And getting into a heated argument with a group of men that included the 2 victims. In front of a large number of photographers and television crews there to film the protest, he gunned down the 2 men. Elaser Plesset, a lawyer for the 2 victims, said Darlington was being charged with murder and illegal possession of a gun. TVN Noticias reported. However, local media reported he could avoid jail time because of his age. That's probably why he didn't care. He's 77. He's just sick of it. He just looks like he does not care at all. He pulled out his gun. Man, that's crazy. Excuse me. He could be seen. People were photographing him walking up. They blocked this highway. Now, there's no graphic images anywhere in the in this video, though they do certainly exist, and there are videos of it happening. The protesters have for 3 weeks been campaigning against the Panamanian government's agreement with a Canadian firm to run Central America's biggest open pit copper mine. Darlington, who lived in the exclusive Paitilla district of Panama City, got stuck in traffic caused by the protesters, who had set up a roadblock on the highway. He reportedly told the passengers, "This ends today." Video and pictures show how he stormed up the road from his car. He then takes out a handgun and begins clearing the barricade or the motorway, still arguing. TVN reported that Darlington asked several teachers who the leaders of the demonstrations were. The protesting teachers told him there were no leaders. So he replied, "I don't want to talk to women. I want to talk to men." Wow. Jeez. At the court hearing, it was heard that a few men were at the scene and 3 of them approached him in an attempt to calm the situation. This can be seen in the footage of the incident leading up to the shootings. The 3 men, 2 in black t-shirts and 1 in red, confront the man. One of the demonstrators can be heard saying, "Why don't you shoot?" Others shout at the man, "Are you going to kill someone?" To which he replied, "Do you want to be first?" After remonstrating with the protesters, Darlington is seen to open fire. The first victim seen in the footage wearing a black t-shirt, blue hat, and carrying a flag fell to the ground immediately. As the man in red backs away, Darlington opened fire again, hitting the other man wearing the black shirt. He can be seen holding his shoulder, grimacing in pain, and staggering over to the side of the road where he falls down. One of the victims, Abdiel Diaz, died at the scene. The other victim, Ivan Rodriguez, 62, was taken to the Juan Vega Mendez Clinic in the nearby town of San Carlos, but was dead on arrival at the hospital. 2 men killed. Man, it's not the United States. And so I wonder if this really means anything else. If you were to come to me or come to anybody else and be like, 2 men were gunned down in Central America, I'd be like, what, 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago? Which one of these are you referring to? Right. But I think the reason this story makes it westward and northward is that many people are sick and tired of these protests that have been happening for years. It goes way back. There's a video I remember watching of environmental protesters standing in the middle of the road holding up a banner. And a guy walks up and rips the banner from them, crumples it up and throws it over a fence. And they're all like, hey, what are you doing, man? Like, And that's like, okay, don't take people's property and destroy it. But, where are the police to clear these things out? There was one protest where I think they parked a boat in the middle of an intersection and then hitched it from the back of a truck and left it there. Look, man, I'm going to say it again. I respect nonviolent civil disobedience. This means there are individuals who say, I find issue, I take issue with the system, but nobody should get hurt. You may be upset that you are in a traffic jam. Oh, yeah. We got a highway closure over here. 340 has been shut down. And so you got to take this big detour where it's a 3-way intersection and it could be like an hour wait at peak times. It's insane. I totally get how insane that is. And the only one you can blame there is government. But if you've got people who have done this and they're shutting this thing down and convening everybody, it's a big problem. But you know what's better? It's better that than some lunatic go around shooting people. We don't want violence because that's permanent damage. You got these Just Stop Oil morons. You saw that video from this past weekend where they smashed the painting glass with hammers. And then the guy's like, millions of people will die if we keep using oil. Millions. Like, oh, man, imagine being so stupid that you would smash the glass protective barrier of a painting without having Google searched what you just said. Not that I think Google is perfect. The reality is we must just stop oil, the guy says. Yeah, 60 million dead in like 3 days is the estimate. It's simple. The amount of food and energy produced by oil creates the base by which humans live. If you go back and look at population expansion, very slow. Because in order for humans to expand, they have to produce more food. All of a sudden, we're like, yo, this oil stuff's great. The Industrial Revolution happens. We're now mass producing food and even shelter. And now, when someone has a kid, the kid is more likely to survive. Population explodes. But this means the lives of these humans who were only born because of the energy boom. Remove the underlying energy, and now you're going to get resource constraint, and you're going to see mass death. I'll keep it simple for you. With no refrigerators, diabetics die. You got to keep insulin cold. These people are able to survive because we have isolated insulin and created a way to store it and transport it properly. But without oil, you can't get it and you can't store it. And then diabetics die. Now, there are some things diabetics can do through diet depending on type 1 or type 2. That'll be between you and your doctor. But that's just one example. Elderly people in hot climates, they're reliant on air conditioning. Fact. Yeah, back in the day, the old people would just die of heat stroke. Now we have air conditioning and we can keep people alive longer and more comfortable. Cold environments. Old people would typically just freeze to death without heat, but now they can survive. So these environmental activists, they want mass death. And I don't say like they consciously know they're doing it. They're the banality of evil towards mass death. I like what Vivek was saying at the debate. More coal, more gas, more oil, and nuclear energy. And we have it all right here in the United States. It can be done. The one thing I will say to everybody, no, this may be a meme. People are saying this photo of the guy is a new meme. Yeah, look at the photo. This ends today. But y'all don't want to be this guy. You do not want to be this guy. You do not want to be the aggressor. You do not want to be the actor. I mean, look, you can see the casing being ejected. It looks like this photo is after a shot may have been taken. Or not, I don't know. What we want to be is just, logical, fair, and righteous. This is not the way to deal with some morons blocking a road. You know, look, if the story was that the guy beat him up, we'd all be laughing. And we'd be saying, don't be violent, don't beat people up. But, you know, instead he killed 2 people. That's wrong. I just absolutely wrong. Crazy, crazy story, though. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.